Hello, hello, my name is Emma and welcome to Mind, Mind, Mind. So, it is basically a game where let me just read off the description of the page. A man has stalked you ever since you were a child. You call him Geist. You're not sure who or what he is. When you befriend a new boy in college, Geist will do anything to keep you in his grasp. Okay, that's the basics of it. But you might see here there's a warning where it says, this game does not contain violence or sexual content, but it does heavily deal with topics of mental health. This is a lot of verbally, emotionally abusive behavior. Please play with discretion, especially if you have a history of negative self-talk. Thankfully for me, I only ever talk well to myself because I have so much confidence. But I want to double check, and there's minor spoilers in this detailed warnings, but I'm just gonna go through it because I don't want anyone to have a bad time. It revolves around anxiety, particularly social anxiety. Throughout the story, Dice is emotionally manipulative, gaslights, and demeans the main character as they struggle to overcome their anxieties. Please take care if you have a history of negative self-talk once again. So that's just what I want to say for the start of the game before we begin. So if any of this is triggering to you, feel free to just move along with your day. And if it's fine with you, I mean, continue with me, I guess. Look at this man. Don't he already look manipulative? Because I know he already looks manipulative. What do you want to be called? Ooh, there's an I, okay. I want to be called Emma. Cool. I have she, her pronouns. There's a man that follows me. I hate how the I is. I sit in the cafe, typing at my laptop as I sip the final dregs of my iced coffee. I look up, gazing over the top of my screen to the seat up opposite of me. He's sitting there. He wasn't sitting there before, but I'm not surprised to see him. He vanishes from time to time. There was a blissful period where he didn't appear for an entire weekend. Oh my god, you're calling that a blissful period? Girl, that's such a short period. Still, even when he's not visible, I know that he's always around, watching, waiting. Hi. Holy shit, your eye necklace moves. That's low-key kinda cool, but I don't appreciate stalkers, okay? He's a young man dressed in sharp, crisp clothes. Some might even call him handsome. He crosses one leg over the other and leans back, enjoying the aroma of his espresso before taking a sip. He never takes his eyes off me. Yeah, I can see one. Up on the top and one in the middle. I don't appreciate it either. But I am also sitting cross-legged with non-crisp clothes. I'm wearing a hoodie. And I am leaning back in my chair because I don't feel like leaning up because I feel like it'll close my throat today. But whatever. I'm not the one stalking here. I focus my gaze on the laptop screen, trying to avoid looking at his face. I was in the middle of typing a sentence, but I can't remember the continuation. For a moment, I stare blankly at the document, typing, deleting, and retyping the same word over and over as a cold, prickling sensation washes over me. Yeah, it's stalker, stalker, stalker. Please get this man out of here. I will call the police. The man finally speaks. His voice is calm but reassured. He talks with the quiet confidence of a university professor. I've never had a university professor that talks with quiet confidence, so I don't know how it sounds.
This is a nice cafe, isn't it? It's your favorite. It's cozy and quiet, and the coffee is good. It's not too expensive either.
Well, British man, I've never had a professor that sounded like you, okay? It's either charismatic or dead. In the inside, not on the outside, because that's illegal. I don't respond. The man continues to chat to himself like a freaking fool. What is he, crazy?
All of the employees are kind. They're generous, allowing students to work here for so long.
Dude, they're making their money by giving me coffee. I don't know what you want from me.
Though, you've already been here for 30 minutes.
And?
It was fairly empty when you first arrived, but it's going to be crowded soon. People always drop by to kill time before their evening classes. Don't you think it's about time to leave?
I've only been here for 30 minutes, okay? 30 minutes is not that long. Take me in here for 2 hours, if anything. You know? Also, people with their evening classes look What am I supposed to do? I'm a paying customer. They can just come in and sit. If it no space, sit on the floor, guys. You're college students. You got this. I have a drink, see? I was right. I bought a drink. Now, what are you gonna say about that, sir? Okay. The man picks up the plastic cup and shakes it, rattling the ice cubes. He cocks his head and looks at me, raising an eyebrow. Yeah. Why are you so close to me, sir? I barely know you.
You had a drink.
No, did you not know that the ice in the drink can melt and become its own drink? Foolish people these days, you don't know anything. I'm thinking of getting some food, maybe a pastry or a bagel, anything to stop you from following me home.
Are you? Really? When you're trying to save money, and you have sandwich fixings at home?
Sometimes I don't want a sandwich. What are you trying to say? Sometimes I just don't want a sandwich. I slumped down, leaning my face closer to the screen as I mashed the keys, filling the document with gibberish only tangentially related to the topic of the paper. The man sighs.
The employees are too kind. They won't tell you to leave, even if you're being a bother. You're a paying customer after all. A paying customer that sat here for 30 minutes after getting a single coffee and insists on taking up an entire two-person table.
Now,
for just one
Now
person.
listen to me here. Now you listen to me here. I am a paying customer. First of all, I paid money and I did drink my coffee. Okay? And it's not like I'm being a nuisance because it's not like I'm staying overtime, nor is it like I'm causing a ruckus. You know, the real one that's being a menace is you. It's you. Because you've also probably been here for at least 15 minutes. Get your coffee and get out if that's how you think.
Let's go home.
Let us go home? Who is us? Go home by yourself, bitch! 1 minute later, and I'm tossing my cup into the recycling. I open the doors to the cafe. The cold wind outside buffets my face and chilly droplets sting my skin. Get this man out of here. Pretty background though. Get this man out of here. As I head back to my dorm, the man walks alongside me, a satisfied and jaunty spring in his step. Gross. He tries to hold my bag, but I refuse. Yeah, get your grubby fingers off my bag. As he strolls along, he hums merrily. He even reaches out to hold my hand, interlacing his fingers with mine. But I shrug my hand out of his grasp, cause he's a fucking creep. The drizzle begins to turn into a shower. The man's mood doesn't dampen. He jogs alongside me at an easy pace as I sprint home, shivering as the rain soaks my clothes. Ugh. You're gonna follow me home? Get out! Get out of here, bro! When I unlock the door, the man waits to the side, still watching my face closely. Droplets of water fall from the hair, framing a sunny expression. Before I go inside, he pulls my sleeve and lands a kiss on my cheek. Personal space! Personal space! Get away from
I
me!
was so happy to spend this time with you.
Spending time?
I'll see you again soon.
Who's spending time with who? This is just harassment. He walks away. When I poke my head into the hallway, he's already vanished. By the way, this game is 2 romantic interests. That's one of them. I'm gonna try my hardest not to get him. I'm surprised. Usually he follows me and oh my god, girl, no, girl, you shouldn't be letting this man in if you can help it. I know he's scary, but like, He lingers, preparing tea and snacks and soothing music. Then after an hour or 2, he disappears. I'm always glad when he's gone. The man wasn't always there. I can't remember seeing him when I was in elementary school. Perhaps he was lingering somewhere, watching, but he never came to talk. Is he a pedo? Is he pining after underage? Dude, I am at the very least hoping that if you were watching in elementary school, you were also an elementary schooler, because that is horrible. The first time I met him was in middle school, right before the school play. As I was huddled backstage, frantically rehearsing my lines, I saw him for the first time. I gazed up to see a boy kneeling beside me. He looked different at that time. He was younger, and he wore a simple collared shirt and a pair of jeans. I thought he might have been a classmate, but I didn't recognize him. Okay, so they're about the same age. We're good. At first, I thought he was strange. Well, we're not good because he's a fucking weirdo, but whatever. At first, I thought he was strange, but I tried to ignore him. Instead, I focused on the crumpled sheet of printer paper, repeating the words until they rolled off the tongue. Then he spoke. Am I reading this? There's so many people watching. Can you imagine what it would be like if you forgot your lines? You're standing on stage in front of dozens of people, flopping your mouth like a dying fish. I'd like to mention now that none of this is my own cohesive thought, but I've seen people mention how he is basically the embodiment of like bad talk self, right? I can definitely see that. Doesn't make me like him anymore. I've liked some shitty characters. I've liked Yang from Pio Fiore. He's crazy. But at least he's not this dude. Because I think there's such a like weird sense of realism to him that I just don't like. I wonder what your classmates would think. They'd probably curse you for ruining weeks of hard work, for being the only wrench in a well-oiled machine. Oh well, I hope that doesn't happen. That would be terrible, wouldn't it? Well, I would, but that's why I'm trying my hardest to rehearse. Half an hour later, as I stood in front of dozens of parents, my mind went blank. I forgot my lines. I choked, tears stinging at the corner of my eyes. As I looked around the auditorium, I saw the stranger leaning at the back, arms crossed as he leaned against the wall. I couldn't tell if he looked sympathetic or elated. As I walked home, he found me again, skipping alongside me. He held my hand and smiled. Ah! I screamed at him. I pushed him away and ran. When he was out of sight, I looked at my palm. He'd given me some chocolate. Thanks, but Since then, I've seen the stranger countless times. He appears anywhere. When I'm walking around outside, when I'm shopping, when I'm in class. The only place that offers me some semblance of refuge is my room, though he still sneaks in there sometimes, invading even my most private of space. How do you get in? You're literally committing breaking and entering, my man. I don't know his name, but I call him Geist. So, you're telling me that you've been stuck with this fucking stalker for like, what, from middle school to college? Oh my god. That is horrible. I lean over my keyboard and groan. No matter what I try, the program won't output the correct answer. After over an hour of tinkering, the result is the same. Are we comp sci majors? I look at the clock on the bottom left of the screen. 7:03 p.m. If I recall correctly, there should be computer science tutoring scheduled for 7 to 9 tonight. My fingers twisted my shirt. I've never gone to tutoring before. You got this, girl! You got this! But the assignment's due at 11 p.m. I bite my lip, staring at the code, hoping that some solution will magically appear in my brain. It doesn't. The clock changes. 7:04 p.m. You got this! Let's go! Yeah, you stand. I can do this! The alternative is missing the assignment and getting a 0 after all. Besides, who goes to tutoring? There probably won't be anyone there. Oh. That's maybe incorrect. I was wrong. When I was standing outside the door, my resolve falters. I peer in through the shades covering the window. There's a few people inside, at least 10. A familiar cold hand lands on my shoulder. I will not take computer science tutoring from you. Geist. Geist smiles at me, his expression twisted into something resembling sympathy. Sympathy? Sympathy? You just like seeing me suffer, asshole.
So many people. Better not go in. Let's go home. I'm sure that you can figure it out.
No, there's a reason I'm here.
Is the room not open?
Oh. I turn. Hello. Please get this man away from me. Not you. You're okay for now. The other dude, please. A boy with a wide smile. That's not a wide smile, but I'll take it. And the warm brown eyes is standing behind me. I recognize him. His sky blue Hawaiian shirt decorated with plumerias is difficult to forget. We're in the same lecture. He always sits in the front row.
Oh, I got it. No key card, right? I got you.
Hey, thanks, bro! He maneuvers around and swipes a card through the ID reader. When it clicks, he swings the door open and holds it for me. What a gentleman.
After you.
Thanks. I take a deep breath and go in. They did tell me, like, not they. Why am I saying it? It's not like they talked to me specifically. The description did say there was voice acting. Honestly, it's pretty nice so far. I know nothing about voice acting though. The only thing is that it feels like there's a bit of an echo. And I'm saying this as a person who definitely has an echo, right? Because I'm in a room and I have no soundproofing. But it sounds like there's a bit of an echo in the other dude, the non-Geist dude's voice. Also, Mac monitor? Bacometer. The room is surprisingly crowded, probably because the problem set is due tonight. Several small groups of students are huddled over their laptops in different areas of the room, scrutinizing their screens. A couple stragglers are hunched over the university desktops, typing furiously. There seems to be a single tutor, a pale Japanese guy. He has messy dyed hair and he's wearing a Tricone University letterman's jacket. He's leaned on the desk next to one of the stragglers, pointing to the screen as he explains something. I go to the corner of the room and sit between two of the computers. I take out my laptop, rousing it from its slumber and navigating to my code editor. Just a mini thing. Unless you're showing the Japanese dude or he's an important part or it's relevant, I don't think the description of the Japanese dude is necessary. Like, the most you really need is like saying he's like a Japanese dude with like a jacket, but like, that's really it. I don't think it's necessary if it's not part of the script. Guy settles in the chair next to me, crossing one leg. Get out of here! Look, you want to talk now? Don't you know that you're being the nuisance? You're not the computer science major here. Get your ass out of here so other computer science people can come in. The boy also sits next to me on the opposite side. He leaves a one computer gap between us. My heartbeat hitches. Is he going to try to talk to me? I just came to get some help with my homework. I'm not ready to make small talk with a stranger. Me too, girl. To my relief, the boy just takes out his laptop and starts typing. Need any help? The tutor walks over, his icy eyes flit between us before settling on the boy. Why are his eyes icy? I feel like they'd be more tired. The boy gestures to me with both hands.
That person was here first.
Yeah, me! Help me! Get that good grade, thanks.
Look at you, troubling him. You wouldn't even have come in if he didn't hold the door for you.
Uh-huh. Well, he offered. Also, it's not like we could have the same problem. The Japanese tutor could just help us both.
Let's hope you can talk without tripping over your own tongue like a buffoon.
I do that on a normal basis. You act like that's weird. My heat cheeks. See, it's already late. My cheeks heat up. I frantically click through my pages of web searching, hoping that the tutor doesn't see my open tabs or my bookmarks. Finally, I pull the code editor back up. I'm running into an error, and I can't figure it out. The tutor peruses my screen. It takes him less than 2 seconds to spot the issue. Thanks. Easy one. Here, you've got a less than or equal sign. It should be less than. I make the correction, and the tutor waits as I run the program. He directs me through a couple of tests, then he verifies the code is working as intended. He turns to the boy. Yo, that's such a nice fix. Like, I know computer science is like, the coding part is like, oh, you missed one small thing and you're like struggling for hours looking for the error. That's so nice. See, it turns out I wasn't dumb. I was just slightly smaller. All right, what about you?
If I'm being honest, I don't really know where to start.
Bro procrastinated too hard. He's just like me for real. The tutor raises an eyebrow and grabs the chair next to the boy, making himself comfortable because he knows he's gonna be there for a while. Let's see, the palindrome problem? For this one, you need to make a recursive function. I return to my own homework. My brain is particularly slow today. My fingers stumble over the keys. For some reason, I can't seem to focus on the assignment. 20 minutes pass and I'm still working on the same problem. Probably because it's in a crowd. I feel like I would be not good working in a group of people too. I would feel too awkward. Geist leans back in his chair as he reads a novel. Bro, what are you here for? Literally, like legitimately, not even trying to berate you, but like, this isn't the type of room where you're chilling. You're supposed to be working. The bell jar is emblazoned in elegant cursive letters on the cover.
You can't focus because there are too many people here. What if they're all looking at you, seeing how horribly slow you are? Why are you even in this class when you're so terrible at
You say that, but literally the tutor just told me that there was like the smallest error ever. And it was just a less than or equal to. It was supposed to be a less than. Also, I can't focus and I would go home, but you're a fucking weirdo that would stalk me. My mouth tightens into a scowl. Next to me, the tutor has been hovering by the boy the entire time, guiding his charge methodically through the problem. However, it's slow going. Several sheets of paper covered with scrolling diagrams are lying on the desk, but the boy's eyebrows are still furrowed and this dude's struggling more than me, that's for real. The older student sighs, glancing at the other students in the room. I'll be back, let me help them for a sec. Yo, what if I help him, get him up to speed, and then we work together, and Geist just fucking leaves. The boy nods in understanding. Geist cops his book shut, demanding my attention.
Why don't we go home? You got what you came for. We can finish in
Stop!
peace and quiet.
Stop talking like we are a pair, okay? We can finish? No, it would be you can finish, as in I can finish. You will be going to your own area. I grit my teeth. I want to stuff Geist's book down his throat, but then I hear something weird. The boy is making a strange, pitiful sound in his throat. He sounds kind of like a whining puppy. He stares at the computer in dejection, his frown so deep that it looks like a rain cloud crossed his face. My eyes scream. Every time he runs his program, it freezes, refusing to budge until he closes it. I look a little closer. Oh, he forgot to increment the counter variable. Should I say something? It's an easy fix, but my mouth feels dry. You got this! Let's go! Help this man in need.
You'd better not. Can you really explain yourself clearly?
Bitch, I never do.
To make him more confused.
You should know me by now that I can fucking barely talk, but I can try. Trying is better than not.
Besides, he didn't ask for your help. Why do you want to stick?
Then I can just ask him if he needs help.
If anything, he'll think you're.
You can just be like, oh, you seem a little lost. Do you need help with your assignment? Get out of here, guys! His voice squeezes my vocal cords. It's difficult to breathe, let alone speak. No, I'm gonna offer to help. I feel bad for him. Like, bro's just pitiful at this point. No offense. The boy looks up, eyes brightening in interest. I edge closer. He scoots over to make room for me. There, you didn't increment your counter variable, so the loop never stops running.
Ah, so that's what it was.
Yes, it is! He types the correction and runs the program. It runs without freezing, even though it doesn't output the correct answer.
You saved me. Oh, thank you. What's your name? I'm Calais.
I've never seen a person use a semicolon in a speaking manner, ever. I always thought it'd be, you saved me, thanks, like a comma. Is that how it works? Well, I guess I've always been bad at English too. Thanks, Calais, and your Hawaiian music, I think. Is it Hawaiian music, or is it just normal? It's a vibey music, and that's all we need. I'm Emma.
Nice to meet you. We're in the same lecture, right? I'm pretty sure I've seen you around.
See, I know, and it's definitely because there's voice actors here, and they didn't give me a set name. I know he's never gonna say my name, regardless of what I would have said. I nod my head, my eyes inadvertently skirt around his face, avoiding direct contact. We return to our respective problem sets. Once or twice he reaches to me with a question or asks me what problem I'm working on. Every time he opens his mouth, my stomach does a backflip. Slowly, the other students file out of the room. Soon, Calais and I are the only ones left. The door opens. A female student hovers in the doorway. She's dark-skinned, her umber hair falls in coils framing her face. She's wearing a bright blue Tricone University sweatshirt, a pair of dark washed jeans, and a white backpack. Okay. This is the same problem. Is she going to be relevant? If she's not, I don't think this is very, I don't want to be too harsh, but this feels very fanfiction-y in the writing itself, and maybe that's the point, you know? If it's the point, honestly, good for you, right? But there's just an unnecessary amount of detail for a person that might not be relevant to the story. When she sees Calais and me, her eyes widen in surprise. She talks to the tutor, letting the door close behind her. Oh, are you still busy? Yeah. Take your time, I'll be over here. Clay's eyes widen and he waves enthusiastically at the older student. She smiles and waves back. The older student goes to the other side of the room and sits in a chair. She slings her backpack over the back of the seat before taking a book out of her bag and starting to read. Do you know her?
Yeah. She's a TA from one of my other classes. Super nice and so smart. She gave me a lot of advice about the courses and teachers in the bio department.
Oh, so you're a bio major? I guess you're doing comp sci as either a breath or you're doing comp sci as part of your major, and it might be like a combination. I eye the clock, 9:15 p.m. I've been here too long. The tutor's only paid to stay until 9. I start to pack my things. I'm not done, but I'll just have to finish it up somewhere else. Next to me, Calais seems to have the same idea. I thank the icy-eyed upperclassman and exit the computer lab. I check my phone again, 9:20 now. I still have an hour and a half to finish up and submit. I should go to the library. I can't waste valuable time walking back to my dorm. Before I have a chance to put on my headphones, me too, I always do that every time I go out. For some reason, I just don't like doing it without my headphones. Kali jogs up behind me, or beside me, his backpack pouncing on his shoulder. I instinctively tense up.
Hey, you still get some homework to do, right? Do you want to work on it together?
Sure, man. Okay. I'm so taken aback that I can't even think to refuse. He beams.
Shoots! Comrades until 11.
Comrades until 11! That's a horrible name, but comrades until 11! See, we noticed that Geist is gone. Ward this man off for me. I forgot your name already. Calais!
Done.
Calais and I both slump on the table, relieved. At 10:52 p.m., we submitted our assignments just in time. Wrong! You're a real one if you submit 10:59.
Thanks for doing it with me. I don't know what I would have done without you.
You're welcome, man. I can't resist smiling, hoping that I don't look overly awkward. It was fun as well. As fun as doing homework could be. Calais is easy to talk to and jokes around a bit while still taking his work seriously. Coding doesn't exactly come easily to him, but once again things start to Coding didn't come easily to him initially, but once things started to click, he began to breeze through the problems much more easily. I was worried that it would be a one-sided affair, but he ended up helping me as much as I helped him. See, we just gotta bring him up to speed. As I close out my coding editor, I side-eye the blonde man sitting next to me, fucking stalking me still. Go home, go take a nap. To my surprise, Geist is as silent as a mouse. When we finish the homework, I notice him glaring at the two of us over the top of the bell jar, but the blonde man didn't say a word. Psh, too scared? Even now, no venomous quips escape his lips. He just stares at Calais, face twisted in an expression of vague irritation.
It's this late? Oh, gotta go. Early morning tomorrow. See you in class.
Do we have the same class? I guess we have the same lecture. Do we have the same, discussion or something then? He smiles as he waves goodbye. After he leaves, my chest feels light. Sometimes good things do happen to people like me. Sometimes the sun does come, even to places where it always rains. Rain is nice, though. I have to keep myself from humming as I pack up my own belongings. I understand that, they're talking about rain metaphorically, but rain is nice. Very nice, when you're indoors especially. When I exit the library, the air is chilly, nipping at my nose and cheeks. It's completely dark and mostly empty, the lamp casting eerie pools of light over the main plaza. As I go down the library steps, Geist follows a step behind, matching my every stride. I steer my gaze ahead, trying to ignore him. I take my headphones from my neck and snap them over my ears, a welcome shield from the cold. I take out my phone and select my listening material of choice. If we're taking a walk at night, soothing music I feel like would be a little bit too spoopy for me. So what I could do is listen to a podcast. I open my favorite podcast. The two hosts start to ramble about the history of cheese drowning out the world. I run towards the path leading to my dorm, but something catches my eye. Someone's waving at me. A girl wearing a white hoodie, her hair tossed into... Just say a girl wearing... I'm sorry, it's just, I keep noticing the writing that just feels unnecessary. You could just say, someone's waving at me, a girl in a white hoodie. Okay? You don't need this much detail for people that I won't even remember. I recognize her, although I don't know her name. We're in the same classics seminar. What should I do? Should I wave? Should I pretend I don't see her and walk past? Sure, I'll wave, bro. What's the loss? I'll get 30 seconds of embarrassment and I'll remember it 10 years later, but I might as well. It's rude to not wave if she's actually waving at me. I tentatively raise my hand, keeping it close to my body. Her eyes flash over me for a second before she looks past me, waving more enthusiastically. I look over my shoulder, another girl's jogging out of the library. I feel like someone dunked my heart in ice water. I hurriedly retract my hand, pretending that I'm adjusting the straps of my backpack, but I know that it's already too late. Psh! Nah, what if I'm just waving at her first? What if I just pretend that I didn't see her waving at me and I was like, oh, person I know, hi! Guy's voice is piercing, effortlessly penetrating the headphones that are shielding my ears.
How humiliating. How could you have ever thought she was waving at you? You barely know her. You've talked to her a couple of times. That doesn't mean you're friends.
You don't need to wave at people that are your friends. You can wave at acquaintances or classmates. It's up to them whether they respond, but like, there's no harm in doing so. My mouth tightens, my eyes burn. He is right. Of course you wouldn't be waving at me. We barely know each other. We're not friends. I turn up my volume on my phone and walk faster. I just want to go home as quick as possible. However, even with my headphones blaring over my ears, his voice still haunts me.
That's right. Pretend that you don't see anyone. Pretend that you don't hear anyone. If you don't talk to them, they'll never hurt you.
Yeah, I'm trying not to talk to you. Leave. I get up unusually late this next morning. Well, morning's probably generous. It's afternoon by the time I put down my phone and roll out of bed. Psh, weak! 3! Get out at 3. After getting home, I stayed up till 4 a.m. on socials. I didn't even process that what I was looking at. I just scrolled. I can hold my newborn kitten in my hand. Famous influencer acts like a jerk for the 50th time this week. Modern dating sucks and we'll all die alone. It was stupid and pointless, but I just wanted to escape. To overload my brain with so much stimulation that I forgot my troubles. I sit up, my head aches, my stomach growls, clawing at my insides. Well, I guess I should eat something. Pizza? 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 When I enter the cafeteria, a menagerie of sauces scents assault my nose. There's the typical array of brunch items: eggs, pancakes, sausages, fruits, and yogurt. Ooh, fruits. There's also a limited section of normal lunch dishes. Oh, you're right. For some reason I thought it was dinner, but it is lunch right now. It was dark outside for lunch though. I peruse the menu that's posted near the entrance. Usually I grab something quick and portable that I can take to the park or to my dorm room like a smoothie or a packaged sandwich, but today I eye the hot food stations, my mouth watering. I would have to eat at the cafeteria, but I look around the hall, there's not too many people here, just a couple of stragglers. It's late for lunch, so most of the students have already come and gone. So it's soup time! My grumbling stomach wins over any reservations I have about eating in public. I want to eat the soup! Soup! No soup. Oh, curry! I don't like mushrooms though. I've never had a goulash. I just woke up and it is the afternoon. I don't know if I want mac and cheese unless it's night. Let's go with the goulash. The student worker dishes out some goulash with a side of macaroni. Hey yo! I win! I take it to a table in the corner. I pick up a chunk of meat in my spoon, savoring the spicy scent of caraway. Caraway seeds? Caraway? I've never had goulash, so I'm not sure. The broth is rich and hearty and the meat melts in my mouth. It only takes me a few minutes to finish half the dish. Yo!
It's you! Mind if I sit here?
Yeah, man, you got goulash for me? Did you get the mac and cheese? You want to give some to me? I'm broke. I almost choke on my food. Kalei is standing next to me, holding a tray with a grilled cheese sandwich, a container of sweet potato curly fries, and a glass of cola. Let's go! He's a curly fries sweet potato fan. Curly fries are okay, but sweet potato fries are good. I raise a hand to cover my coughs and gesture to the seat in front of me. Kalei beams and sits down.
Didn't think I'd see you here. Did you manage to get any sleep last night?
I was on TikTok for the last 15 hours. JK, I don't have TikTok. I literally only followed one person there, and then it turns out they had freaking drama, so I was like, I'm good. I don't have TikTok. I default to the YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. A bit. I'm barely able to get the words out. I'm still frazzled by the sudden intruder at my table.
You see what happened because you decided to sit here?
What?
Now this guy found you.
What?
And you'll have to eat the rest of your lunch trying to have awkward small talk with someone you barely know.
We could just not talk and eat. Bro, why are you painting this like it's a bad thing? It's my time to make friends, my man! Friend time! The familiar blonde man is sitting next to me, sipping an iced coffee. He glares at Kalei like he wants to strangle the boy. Kalei, do you not notice this man? Kalei, do you not see this fucking dude over here that just looks like he always wants to kill you? He sets his tray down and takes a big bite of his sandwich, melting cheese oozing between his fingers and onto his plate. He chews and swallows before speaking. What manners?
Man, comp sci is so much tougher than I thought it'd be. I took it because I thought it would be easier than taking an actual math
You're
class.
so wrong, you
But
clown.
somehow it's even worse.
You're so wrong, you clown. Math class is so much easier than comp sci, I'm fairly sure. Well, it depends on what you're better at, but like, personally. He pushes his container of sweet potato fries towards me, but I shake my head. No! No! My sweet potato fries! You should have nodded. You should have nodded. He takes the fry and chomps it in half.
How's it for you? Hard?
Easy. Easy. It's... It's not bad. It's not too bad. Calais nods, taking another bite of his sandwich. I look down, he only just sat down, but the chat is already petering out. I can't keep up a conversation with this guy. I can only hope that he'll eat quickly and leave me alone. He puts his grilled cheese down and he wipes his fingers on his napkin before taking out his phone. Ah, you gotta let it digest. I know, man.
Hey, do you mind if I add you on TryMessage?
Yo, your school has a fucking messaging app? That's crazy.
None of my friends are taking comp sci, so I don't have anyone to suffer with me. Please?
Give me a sweet potato fry first. Oh yeah. Before I can even process what he's asking, I'm already fumbling my phone out of my pocket. I nearly drop it.
What's your ID?
111111111. Oh no, my pulse quickens as I open the app that I've never opened before. Ah, you don't know how to find it. Well, I'll just fumble until he goes, do you not know how? And then I'll be like, no, I don't. On the inside, I'm screaming. It's prompting me to make an account. He finishes his coffee, he crosses his legs. Oh, Geist specifically finishes his coffee. He crosses his legs, turning sideways on the chair to face me with an amused smirk on his face. What? Can you at least tell me how to do it?
Oh no. Better not let Calais see that. He'll find out that you're a hopeless loner.
Bruh.
After all, you didn't even bother making an account because you don't have a single friend to add
And
on
that's
to our
why
message.
this is gonna be my first friend. Also, who's the person that keeps stalking and probably also has no friends? You. So tell me how to make an account, asshole. Sorry, give me a sec. I forgot to update my phone. It's auto-updating now.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah. I drop my phone onto the table and frantically input my information. It feels like I'm dismantling a bomb.
Tick tock.
I want to strangle the smirking blonde man. I got two hands. One for the phone, one for the gripper. I hurriedly change my profile pic to a random picture from my downloads. I got it.
Shoot.
We add each other on TryMessage. His profile pic is a banana wearing sunglasses, and the tag under his name simply says, "Live in life." Hey, that's my thing. Don't take it from me.
No way.
Yeah, way. What? Did I do something wrong? Is my profile weird?
Is that Detective
Hell
Dog?
yeah, it's Detective Dog. I don't know what that is, but yeah. I look closer at the picture that I chose for my profile pic. Callie is right. I had inadvertently chosen a fan art of the main character from my favorite movie series, Detective Dog. I can feel my cheeks burning and my heart sink. He doesn't sound like he's, like, insulting me. Next to me, Geist is doubled over, chuckling into... What's your deal? Just leave, bro.
Wow, you didn't even make it 10 minutes before showing him what a weirdo you were. An adult that still watches.
I forgot they say
cartoons
adult
for
like that.
children.
Adult.
Might as well tell him that
Did you
still
just-
wet the bed too.
Did you just... Me? Sir? No one's... Me. Oh, you. Also, you talk about child cartoons for children, but you forget that there is the series that so many adults like and so many children like alike. That is the Avatar that I haven't watched in ages. And also, I liked Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a child, and I stopped watching it because I got really lazy. But I watched Aikatsu. I watched Aikatsu Stars, and I fucking love Aikatsu Stars. And that's, I'm pretty sure, for children. So get your ass out of here. I just thought the art was nice. I don't...
I love Detective
Let's go! Let's go, Detective Dog! What?
What?
You see? Adults can like child things too.
I used to watch that series so much when I was a kid. I stopped watching the movies for a while, but I was feeling nostalgic last year and I started to watch them again.
We love nostalgia watching. You gotta catch up if there's any new episodes too.
They're actually so much better than I remembered. and I noticed so much about them that I didn't appreciate when I was younger.
True. Adult parts.
Like how dogs' addiction to dog treats is a metaphor for alcoholism.
That's crazy.
How the tyranny that the cats have over the city is based on imperialism.
What?
And when Dog stops wearing his collar, he's freeing himself from both his abusive relationship with his wife and the generational trauma that the cats have inflicted on his family.
Are the cats part of his family? As Kale continues to chatter about the symbolism of the third Detective Dog movie, I know, because I watch, definitely, I'm at a loss for words. I've only met a handful of people who still remember Detective Dog. I can still see their expressions of derision in my mind, poisoning my love for the franchise. I've never met anyone who saw it as anything more than a silly children's cartoon before. Also, remember, even if it is just a silly children's cartoon, you can still like things. We're not here to overanalyze everything. Just enjoy what you enjoy. Unless it's illegal, then don't. Kale gradually stops talking. He rubs the back of his neck, apparently realizing how long he's been rambling. No, keep talking, man. I love hearing Detective Dog.
Oops. I got a little excited. People don't really remember Detective Dog, you know? What's your favorite entry in the series?
Let's see. My favorite is, I guess the 5th, Detective Dog versus the Virtual Phantom. I thought the surrealism of the film was so interesting, and for once it focused less on the mystery and more on Dog's past as part of the police force and the guilt and trauma that he has as a result. It's also the first film that really explores the corruption inherent in the dog society without blaming everything on the cats. That's an interesting thought. Kyle leans forward and sips on his soda as he nods. I try to restrain myself, but the words tumble out of my mouth before I can catch them. Before long, I'm subjecting Calais to a 30-minute long spiel about the symbolism of bananas in the film. Fucking love bananas. Still, he never looks annoyed or disinterested. He listens the entire time in rapt attention. When I'm done, he brings up his own thoughts, and soon we're engaged in a lively conversation about the use of food metaphors in the series. Before I know it, it's already 3 p.m. We take our plates to the tray, return together, and then we start walking back to the dorms. He lives in the building next to mine. We wave to each other. I take my ID card to swipe into the building. It's only then that I realized Geist was standing next to me the entire time. And you didn't even contribute to the conversation because you don't know anything about Detective Dog, Geist! Start watching! He's eerily quiet, his face as cold as a block of ice. He follows me into my dorm room without saying a word. No, like say a word. At least say, excuse me, or don't even come in at all. Even as I start all my classics homework, he lingers. He crosses his arms and leans against the back wall, watching me. This is a first for him. When he follows me inside, he usually clings to me and doesn't stop talking until he decides to leave. I open up my textbook. Fine, it doesn't matter if he stays, just as long as he's quiet. I spend the afternoon and early evening doing homework. During that time, he doesn't leave, but I ignore him. My mind's still running with the cheerful memories of my lunch with Calais. When it gets dark, I sneak out of the common room and make myself pasta. Love pasta. I lie on my bed, my stomach full of cheap carbs. I fish my pocket out of my... I love misreading. I fish my phone out of my pocket and unblock it. Unlock it. Not unblock. The try message icon catches my attention amid the mess of apps on my homepage. I click the icon and navigate to Calais. So, you know that banana episode we were talking about? I press the box to start typing a message. However, when the keyboard pops up, my fingers tremble. The mattress creaks. Get off my bed, bro. Ew, get off my bed. Ew. Ew. Bro. Geist has left his home against my back wall. He's lying on his side next to me, his head propped up with one hand. He smirks, and I punch him in the fucking face.
Doing? He just asked for your info to be polite. He doesn't actually want to be your friend. He doesn't like you. Why would he?
Because we have a bond over Detective Dog. Like, even if he did it to be polite at first, we both like Detective Dog. I can't talk about Detective Dog with you. So who am I supposed to talk it with? Calais.
This afternoon,
Calais.
he was just tolerating you. He was being nice, listening to you blabber ad nauseum about things he couldn't care less
He
about.
told me he liked Detective Dog. You're literally lying to me right
If you
now.
text him, he'll just shudder and think, this person again? So soon. How clingy are they?
Keep projecting, you know? You're being awfully clingy right now. Get out.
Save him some headache. Don't text him.
Bitch, you're just a little jealous because you're just a weirdo stalker and the other dude is just a normal bloke. My hands freed up. My hands freeze up. What if Geist is right? What if Calais really was just being nice? If I text him, I'll be a bother. But I want to talk about Detective Dog, man. Bananas. I flop onto my side, facing away from Geist. He snorts. What do I say? I can't sound too casual. We're not that friendly, but I shouldn't sound too formal either. Should I add emojis? How many? Should I say hi or hello or hey? That's also a big problem for me. I default to hi. If it's hello, I'd probably say it for a little bit more of a formal setting, but I'll just be like, yo. Would thanks or thank you be better? Should I apologize for talking so much or should I thank him for listening? After typing and retyping the message several times, I eventually come up with something I'm happy with. I do that a lot with people I'm not familiar with. But usually I just give up. Hi, sorry to bother you. I just want to say it was really fun talking to you today. Thanks. That's a cute message. As soon as I hit the send pillow, I smash my head into the pillow and I decide not to look at my phone until tomorrow morning. Guy sighs.
Oh, could you be any more awkward? What is this? A thank you email after a job interview? The social ineptitude is dripping off your text.
It gives me personality. It gives me personality. I groan. I wish there was an unsend button. My phone buzzes. I squeeze my eyes tight, smothering my face with the pillow as I get ready to look at the screen. Hey, you texted me. Yay! No, I should thank you. It was super fun talking about Detective Dog. Dog buds! Woof! That's a cat face, you fucking fool. Oh wait, that's a cat. A man after my own heart. I chuckle. Yes it is. Woof! He sends a cute sticker of a dog lying on the beach. I respond with a sticker of a dog lying under a blanket saying that he doesn't want to go to work. We trade stickers like that for a few minutes until our chat log is a veritable dog park. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. Are you going to tutoring Monday?
Don't do something that you'll regret.
Like, if I need help with a class, I'm gonna go to tutoring, my man. I glare at Geist. I'll be there. Yay, I'll see you there. I drop my phone on the blanket and I roll onto my stomach. My heart's racing, but it's not from nervousness for once. I'm actually happy, excited even. I'm looking forward to Monday. Tutoring time, I'm furthering my education. Kalei and I go to tutoring together on Mondays and Fridays. Afterwards, we usually grab a late night snack. We also text a lot between classes in the evenings, on the weekends. We chat about a lot of things, though our conversations usually gravitate towards movies. He loves talking about film even more than me, if that's possible. It seems like he watched every movie produced in the last 30 years, ranging from rom-coms to biopics to horror. Ooh, a new setting too? My friendship with Kalei is so easy that it's almost scary. Chatting with him feels like I'm being carried down a gentle river by the momentum of the water. It's not difficult or forced, unlike to what I'm used to. I think that Kalei is a good friend. I don't care. Look, I don't know if he's cute, but I can say he's a good friend. He's a good friend. I like spending time with him. A month after I started going to tutoring with Kalei, I'm sitting on my desk, scrolling away on my laptop. I often spend my Saturday evenings browsing random online marketplaces. It's relaxing and it feels like a bit of a treasure hunt. I've snagged a good few vintage CDs for bargain bin prices. Right now I'm searching for my White Whale. I'm invested countless hours searching for this movie, but to no avail. That's why we recruit Kalei. My eyes brighten. I finally find what I'm looking for. Young Detective Dog. The adventure begins. A prequel to Detective Dog. It's not part of the original Detective Dog timeline. Instead, it was a minor film that was released direct-to-video, detailing Detective Dog's impoverished origins as a street puppy. It's a valuable piece of Detective Dog canon, filling the gap between the prequel series before Detective Dog and the Butler-era comics detailing his life as a servant to a noble cat family. Young Detective Dog was outsourced to a smaller animation studio. As a result, it never received that much marketing and only a limited number of prints. It's the only Detective Dog film that I haven't managed to get my hands on, until now. I don't even look at the cost that carefully. I've been searching for this film for months, and I'm willing to pay almost any price. As I'm checking out, my phone buzzes. Hey! So you know we were talking about the Mad Gun sequel yesterday? Do you want to go see it? I was thinking about going tomorrow. Oh, the new Mad Gun movie. Kalei and I had chatted about it on our way back to the dorms. Admittedly, I wasn't a fan of the franchise, but I'd read rave reviews about the new sequel. I can't deny that my interest was piqued. I'm about to text OK when a hand drops on my phone. The pale, tapered fingers rested, but... What? Do you know no limits? Do you have no boundaries? He strolls to the other side of the room, waving the phone idly.
You'd better not.
Who are you to say this? Who are you to say this? Why not? I can spend time with whoever I want. He comes back and leans against the side of my desk.
Texting is easy. You have time to think about what you'll say, and there's no pressure to answer right away. Going to tutoring is fine too. After all, you're mostly working on homework.
And? It's called I'm working on my social skills with this man.
But going out with him will be different. You'll have to talk to him the entire time.
Look.
Can you really do that?
I don't think you understand how friendships work. Sometimes you don't have to talk. You can just chill. Also, we're going into a movie. And the movie's gonna be like an hour and a half or maybe even more, maybe just an hour. I don't know, but it's still gonna be an hour of silence. Cause I'm not talking during that movie. I snatched the phone out of Geist's grasp, but however, when I open trimessage, my palms are sweaty. What if he's right? I tell Kalei, I'm going! I grit my teeth. Making conversation is no big deal. I can do it. Talking with Kalei is easy anyway. I'd love to go. Great, I'll pick you up at 11 p.m. We're doing a night showing? I prefer morning. I respond with a thumbs up. Geist leans over me, his displeasure slathered over his face. He smells like mint, sharp and cold. Hey, don't ever attribute the wonderful flavor of mint with someone like this, okay? I don't care if he has the cool, handsome boy manga scent. He doesn't deserve it. He deserves to be stinky.
I warned you. Just wait. You'll see what happens.
Yeah, and if it happens, I'll work through it. It's called getting better at navigating social situations. I pick up my pillow and I throw it at him, but he's already gone. I sit at my bed, breathing hard. The blonde man is gone, but the butterflies in my stomach aren't going away. Instead, they're just flapping their wings more and more violently, churning my guts into soup. Soup! I hope that Geist is wrong.
Man, that was awesome. I was wondering if it was gonna be some cheap cash grab, considering it's been 20 years since the last installment.
Nah, man. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't watch the movie.
But it was really interesting. I liked how the original protagonist became the mentor to the next generation.
Cliches. Let's go! As we exited the cinema complex, Kalei's eyes lit up. He points to the food court, the bright signage beckoning us inside. The food court. I love food court.
Ugh, I'm starving. Wanna grab some grinds?
What are grinds? Is that a place? Is that food? What are grinds? I am hungry. I feel like eating a pizza. Vegan banh mi? Hush. Vegan banh mi. No pho, only got banh mi? And is vegan no ja? You don't have ja in your banh mi? I mean, I understand if you're vegan. Maybe they have vegan ja? I know that exists, actually. You know what? Maybe they have vegan ja? But if we're talking about post-movie, I'd probably want ramen. Vegan banh mi is for mornings. But if it's like afternoon or night, ramen. I don't know what Loca Moca is, and that's why I didn't choose it. I go to the ramen shop and order a vegetarian ramen. Oh, we're just vegetarian in general. Or vegan. Vegetarian, we're not vegan. Minutes later, I carry a tray with the bowl back to the table. Clay's already sitting down, a glistening bowl of rice, topped with spicy mayo-slathered tunas, sitting in front of him. He splits his chopsticks.
That looks pretty action.
I've never heard someone speak like this in all my life. Is this new kid lingo? Is this how the kids talk these days?
Anyway, that was so good.
Are we gonna skip it now?
Especially like the scene where the sergeant finally
Is he skipping missing me? Sorry, I had to say it. Anyway, okay, yep. When he puts down his uniform, I nod, chewing on my food as I listen to him. He talks for several minutes, rambling about his favorite scenes and the acting performances of the leads. When his steam is all used up, he scratches the back of his neck and returns his attention to a Pokeball.
Sorry, I did it again. I talk so much. My friends usually have to tell me to shut up.
Nah, man, your real ones would let you keep talking. Probably. Oh, it's okay. I like listening to you.
Really?
I mean, we're talking about lore and we're talking about details and we're talking about analysis. I kind of love hearing it. I'm not that good at it if I'm being honest, but I love hearing about it. He looks embarrassed.
Oh, thanks. That's nice of you. No one has ever said that to me before.
Psh, it's just like me. Always being the first. I was your first friend, not really. You had other friends, but you know what? You're my first friend, and that's what matters.
What do you think of the movie?
Oh shit! I like the... If we're talking about Mad Dog? Was it Mad Dog? Mad Gun? Is it a mix of like Mad Max and Top Gun? I would probably say, if we're initially after the movie and I haven't thought about it, I'd probably say the action sequences, not gonna lie. I really like the action sequences. They did a great job of using practical effects. I heard that they tried to limit the use of CG for this movie and the result was impressive. I especially like the scene where they were falling out of the plane trying to grab the detonator. I love how they threw people literally out of the plane as they were falling to the ground. And they had to do that, and every time they had to reshoot, they would go to the top of the plane again and redo it. Kelly nods, listening intently as he chews on a slice of pickled radish. We talk about the movie for several minutes, but the conversation quickly slows down. Also, the descriptions in this one is okay. Because you're talking about food, which is pertinent in case it wants to be mentioned in the future about like what food you ate or like how it impacted. That's okay. It doesn't feel like unnecessary for the most part. That's what I'm gonna say for the food part, at least. Food details. To be honest, I'm not all that familiar with the Mad Gun series. I watched the original film years ago and I just read the synopsis as a refresher. This movie was excellent. It was just a very solid, entertaining action movie overall. I can't think of much to talk about. But yeah, it was really good. I'm glad that we came to see it. My voice trails off. Uh-huh. How's your food, man? How's your food? Tell me how's your food. Tell me. Look, Conversation 101. I'm shit at conversation too. Let it be said. You guys can hear it when I'm talking and I'm stumbling over every other word I say. Because I talk too fast and I can't keep up with it. If you're running out of one topic, you switch to the other. Or you switch to a familiar one. You can be like, oh, how's the comp site stuff going? You doing well with that? Or like, how's your food? Why'd you choose poke? You were like, look at them and you'd be like, you was in a poke mood today, sir? Or it'll be like, man, this ramen's kind of good, or it's kind of mid, you know? Oh no, oh no, oh no, no, no.
Uh-oh.
Where'd you come from?
Stopped. What will you do?
Also, how does Callie not hear you? Are you real or are you fake? Are you in my head? He's standing behind me. He slides his hands over my shoulders, tracing my clavicle. It feels like he's about to grab my throat and strangle me. He's so gross.
I told you that this would happen.
Uh-huh. It's called I'm learning how to socialize. If I don't do this now with a person that I'm comfortable with, I'll be stuck with you. And I don't want to socialize with you.
He's getting bored. He's realizing that you're not the interesting person that he thought you were. Soon he'll regret ever inviting you to hang out with him.
Number one, I noticed that there's a Panda Express in the background. Number two, let me just say, sometimes there's lulls in conversation. You can just eat silently from then on, okay? Like, just as a general thing to say to people, silence isn't always bad. Sometimes silence just happens and you can just take it in. You don't have to do anything. You can take out your phone and start scrolling it. Also, soon he'll regret inviting you to hang out with him. Who cares? We ate good food and he got to watch the movie he wanted. And he got to watch it with someone who had at least some level of intrigue in the movie. And although I might have not been a great conversation partner with the movie, it was still a fun experience. My skin feels cold. I look at Calais. He's looking at nearby shops selling rice balls. And then I can go, yo, I can eat some more. You wanna get a rice ball? He's probably thinking about how boring this conversation is, how much he regrets inviting me out, how much he regrets being my friend. At least we're friends. I do appreciate being friends. I take another bite, but it's hard to swallow. The food feels like glue in my throat. I want to vomit.
Why don't you excuse yourself to the bathroom? Stay in there a while. And when you come out, you can pretend that you got food poisoning.
Yo, I'm not walking out on this. I'm not walking out on this when I can get another rice ball. What?
At least that way he'll think that you're miserable company because you're ill, and not because you're just a miserable person.
I am not a miserable person. You're the miserable one. You keep projecting onto me, man. I managed to choke down the bite of food. He's right. It wouldn't even be a lie. The food is settling uneasily in my stomach. So I just get up and I walk it off. Let's do laps around the mall. Is this a mall? I'm assuming it is if there's a food cart in a movie theater. I place my hands on the underside of my seat, getting ready to scoot back from the table.
Do you ever wonder what life would be like if you were the last person alive?
No. Point blank, no. Because I'm too busy thinking about other things that are less pertinent. What? My retreat is interrupted by Kalei's sudden interjection.
No, like, seriously. Post-apocalyptic movies always focus on the survival aspect. But what if that's not the problem? Assume you've got a shelter and all the food, water, and electricity you want.
You know what I just realized? I don't think, after hearing it for a bit, I don't think the quality is as echoey as I thought it was. It might be because, like, Geist is closer to the mic and Kalei is just further, but it's not as bad now that I'm used to it. You know what? I appreciate it. You don't feel like you're right in my ear like some other bitch. I mean, if I got all the shelter and all the food, but like, I feel like I would go insane. I think I would go insane.
You're completely alone. You've got all this time on your hands. What would you do with it?
Look, I'm a person that, you know, is this what he was thinking about? The hypothetical apocalypse? You know what, I'll just wait. What made you think about that all of a sudden? That's random.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes these thoughts pop up in your head.
Me too, man.
You know? And they just keep scratching at the inside of your skull until you let them out.
Yeah. So that's why I tell my friends that, like, I go up to them and I'm like, yo, in the bathroom, my bathroom has like hooks for towels. You ever wonder what it's like if you tripped in the bathroom and your eyes got carved out by the fucking thing? And they go, what the hell are you talking about, Emma? You need help. And I think about it. He takes his hat off and ruffles his hair, looking a bit embarrassed. He puts the hat back on. I mean, I guess I would... See, I think we're talking about all the shelter. How good is the shelter? Is the shelter just sufficient? Is the shelter good, or is it barely? Stay alive, I'm actually not sure I would stay alive. Not because I like want to die specifically, but I feel like there's not much to me left if I stayed alive. If anything, I'd watch all the movies I can before I die. I'd watch all the movies I can before I die. All the things that I normally wouldn't have time for. You know, witness the last remnants of humans' existence before it all disappears. What about you? What would you do if everyone disappeared on you?
Guess I would travel around and look for people.
So yeah, now there's the thing. Do you know for sure you're the last person alive, or do you just think you're the last person alive? There was a show like that on one TV station that I remember. I think it was called The Last Man on Earth. I watched like 3 episodes of it when I was in middle school, I think. I thought that you said that you were the last person alive. You already know that there aren't any other people, right?
Well, I think if I actually believed that, I wouldn't be able to handle it. Knowing that I'm all alone in this huge world.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna take myself out, I'd rather at least make like graves for the last people that I know. Like before the apocalypse hit, because I feel like I want them to be remembered, even if there's no one to remember it. But
if I keep searching, then I can hope that I'll find someone someday. Even if it doesn't
positivity.
Happen, the thought would keep me alive.
I respect that. I respect that, you know? I understand his feelings, but I can't relate. I've thought more than once that if I was all alone in the world, then it wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't have anyone to worry about I wouldn't have to worry about dealing with anyone. My mind could finally stop screaming at me. I would finally be at peace. But would you? Maybe.
Sorry for killing the mood with that weird question.
Nah, man, we love existential questions. I shake my head. No, well, it was kind of weird, but I get it. Sometimes you can't control your thoughts, and it was an interesting question. I just needed some time to think about it. Yeah, you do need to ponder these a little. He chuckles awkwardly and leans forward.
How's your food? Ooh, looks cherry.
Is this lingo that I just don't know? Is it lingo from like another part of the world? Another state, city, or even just like out of USA? Out of the US of A? I don't know. Oh, it's good. Do you want a bite? No. We're not giving him my ramen. Somehow I feel a bit more relaxed. His bizarre question has knocked me out of the maelstrom of my thoughts. He hasn't been obsessing over me or my shortcomings. He's just been in his own head, wondering about something that has nothing to do with me. I almost laugh. Of course he wasn't focused on me the entire time. I'm not the sun. He doesn't revolve around me. He has his own random fleeting thoughts. After we finish lunch, yeah, we go shopping. We drop by a charity store and browse through their used DVDs. We don't talk the entire time, but at the very least, I don't feel tempted to run to the bathroom when the conversation slows down. It's called a steady rhythm. And it just peters out, and we're good. When I flop on my bed later that evening, exhaustion envelops my body. It's because you have a low social battery, I can relate. But it's a different kind of exhaustion than normal. A good kind of exhaustion. Never mind, your social battery is stronger than mine. And there, I admire the concluding paragraph to my classics paper. It came out rather well if I do say so myself. I'm spending another Saturday evening at the library, as I often do. It's been a couple of weeks since Kalei invited me to go to the movies. It's already 10 p.m.? My assignment's due in an hour! I groan. Hopefully I have something in my dorm room to eat for dinner. I pack up the laptop, books, and paper scattered over the desk and head to the library exit. So then, what if... Hear me out. And I'm like, you don't need to do this. You know, me in the game. We could... It's been a while since we've been seeing Kalei. We could ask him to go, you want to eat dinner? I just finished my assignment, you know? Ow. As soon as I open the library door, I freeze. There are hundreds of people outside. The plaza's filled with blaring music. It's a boisterous rock song with dramatic crescendos. The theme song from a recent Halloween-themed blockbuster. It's Thriller!
They must be having a party.
Yeah. I noticed. Geist is standing next to me. He strides in front, and then when he's standing at the end of the steps, he turns back around and bows, gesturing towards the crowd with one arm. He's acting like he's ushering in my arrival to a royal ball.
Shall we go?
To the party? I kind of want a nap, but like if I want a party, I want a party, I guess. I take a step down, my legs are shaking. Man, the music's getting spooky. That's some spooky Halloween music. There are so many people. They swarm around me, pressing against my body. The smell of smoke is sickeningly sweet, wrapped around me like a vice. A tall student rams into my shoulder, spilling a few droplets of beer on my hoodie. Bro! Watch where you're going! I know you're having fun, but man, my hoodie! It's gonna smell like beer now. I try to breathe, but no matter how deeply I inhale, it feels like my lungs are being filled with sand. I take a step, it's like I'm wading through mud. The music is so loud I can't even hear myself think. Yeah, there's places where, you know, you'd prefer not to be, and there's places where you prefer to be. I'm also just not a party person. And there are flashing lights everywhere. The students are wearing glow sticks around their necks and wrists. They look like fireflies swaying in the dark. I feel like that'd be kind of pretty, though. Where's Geist? For once, I look around for him, aching to see the blonde head, a familiar beacon in a sea of shadows, but he's nowhere to be found. My vision is getting blurry. The shadows of the students around me all blend together, pressing against me, squeezing the breath from my lungs. This is a safety hazard. I think this is a safety hazard. My legs buckle and soon I'm kneeling on the pavement. I try to stand back up but I'm shaking too much. If I move, I'll topple over. Does no one notice this? Like, I know that there's probably the thing that like, I don't want people to see me like this, but does no one see this happen and is like, oh, we should probably get her help? My heart is pounding, beating like a war drum. I feel like I'm going to be sick. I look up. Maybe it's the bystander effect. Everyone is staring. Oh, never mind. They look down at me, their eyes driving into me like knives. Some of them turn to each other, talking, gossiping about me. Ooh, university students suck.
Here you are, the center of attention, the star. Go on, put on a show. Show them what a mess you are.
should I just lie on the floor then? Like, well, I'm not gonna put on a show for these people, obviously. But like, everyone's really stuck in the bystander effect. No one wants to be like, oh, is she okay? I can't see him, but I know Geist is behind me. I think he's an apparition. I don't think he's real. It's getting hard to hear. It's getting hard to see too. I feel like I'm drowning in the depths of the ocean. The only thing that I can hear clearly is his sardonic voice whispering in my ear. The only thing that I can feel clearly is his breath against my neck. A little too close too. I'm gasping for air. I'm suffocating.
Hey, are you okay?
Really? No one really came up to ask if I was okay until Calais came up to ask if I was okay? Maybe they were like, oh, we don't want to make the situation worse, but really, no one? A fuzzy figure is kneeling in front of me. I can't see who it is, my vision's too blurry. When I don't reply, he puts a reassuring hand on my shoulder, urging me to stand.
Come on, let's sit down somewhere.
Yeah, make way, bitches! He tugs on my sleeve, leading me through the people surrounding us. As we walk, the crowd thins, the music quiets, and the smell of smoke weakens. He opens the door and guides me inside. Where are we? Where are we? I look around, my mind is fuzzy, but I can tell we're back in the library foyer. Foyer? I don't know. The boy sits me down on one of the couches. I don't see no couch in this area. It's hard to focus. I try to concentrate on his feet. I can only think about one thing. Why is this guy wearing socks with sandals? It's quiet now. Look! With the advent of slides, people have started wearing socks with their slides. And that's fine. I don't want to see their raw dogs. Okay, I don't want to see the bare feet. It's quiet now. So quiet that I can hear how fast my heart is beating. It's still racing, thrumming in my ears like a hummingbird's wing. My skin feels cold and clammy.
Do you mind if I sit with you?
Yeah, sure. Go, I mean... You're not a crowd, so I guess it's fine. I don't mind.
Okay, wait here. I'll be right back.
He returns a few minutes later, setting a cold bottle of water against my shin. Oh, I see. I injured my shin. The chilly condensation tingles against my skin, grounding me. I look up. Calais' brow is furrowed with worry. Doesn't suit his face, normally so sunny and cheerful. Can I be honest? I've seen Calais frown a lot, though, not gonna lie. Guilt gnaws at my chest. He's made this face a lot, I know.
Are you sick? Did you drink too much?
Not at all!
Or are you having a panic attack?
I'm not sure! A panic attack. I had never considered that before. I had similar episodes in the past, but I just told myself that everyone feels nervous sometimes. My episodes were normal. I was normal.
Now he knows that you're a freak.
Ugh.
Someone who can't even handle normal life. A person who's constantly on the verge of a complete mental
That's
breakdown.
a little rude to people with panic disorders, don't you think, sir? Sometimes normal life is a little too much. Everyone has different situations and everyone has different coping mechanisms. You think that you're not being a little rude here? At least he's not a stalker. At least I'm not a stalker. Better... Actually, you know, I'm not gonna say that. It's a pretty bad thing to say. But better to not be a person that actively hurts others, you know? Geist is sitting down next to me on the couch, arms draped around my shoulders. His cold fingertips are tickling my earlobe. It feels like I'm being buried alive. So I'm not having a good time. I think I'm having a panic attack. I say it quietly, the words stumbling over my tongue. I almost don't want him to hear. It's strange labeling what is happening to me like this. Part of me is glad to give it a name, to put a face to this monster that's tormented me for so many years. Part of me is terrified of the label, this brand singeing my skin, marking me as someone irreparably broken.
Got it. Okay. Breathe with me, okay? In. Out. In. Out. Good job. Can I hold your hand?
Sure. I nod. He grasps my hand and squeezes it. His hand is warm. Wait, but we're in his fingertips. You know, we're not going to think about continuity right now. And reassures as he leads me through some deep breaths.
You're okay. Everything is going to be okay. I'm here for you. I'm not going anywhere.
Cool. He repeats this over and over as he continues to help me breathe. With each reassurance, it feels like a rock is lifted off my chest. Once I've calmed down, Kalei gives my hand one final squeeze before letting go.
How you feeling? All right.
A-okay! Could you take me home though? Just in case. Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you.
Do you want to go home? Are you going to be okay walking through the crowd?
I nod again. Kalei helps me to my feet. I follow closely behind me as he leads me back out into the masses of people. It's still suffocating, but it's different this time. Kalei walks in front of me, parting the crowd like a Red Sea. Meanwhile, I focus on the plumerias on Kalei's back, counting each flower petal. There's 5. There's 5 on each flower. By the time that I'm finished, we're out of the heart of the gathering. There are only a few stragglers surrounding us now. You look really tall in this setting, Kalei. I let out the breath that I didn't know I was holding. I jog up to Kalei's side. I'm sorry for bothering you. My cheeks are burning. I want to disappear, to crawl into some hole that leads straight to the center of the earth and never come back.
It's no problem at all. I wanted to get some air anyway. Big parties like this aren't usually my thing.
Me too, man. We having a party, 5 people max. Geist sidles up next to me, his hands in my pockets. His pockets. Oh my god, I was gonna be like, fuck no, fuck no.
Look at you. You've completely ruined his night. He could have had fun with everyone else, but he had to babysit you.
You talk like this, but you do realize that you seem to lack a level of, like, comprehensive thinking, where you seem to think that everything revolves around me, but you do understand that Kalei can also just, you know, go back to the party if he wants to after walking me home because he's such a nice dude. Unlike someone who laughed at me while I was having a panic attack. My hands hover around the headphones slung around my neck. I want to put them on, but that would be too rude with Kalei here. I'm not usually like this. I'm a little embarrassed that I acted like this in front of you. Kalei doesn't look surprised. Instead, he dons a strange expression of grim understanding.
It happens to a lot of people. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yep.
What a liar.
Bro.
It happens to a lot of people. Who, exactly? Has he ever even met anyone as freakish?
Why do you keep calling me a freak? You're the freak! Like, you come into my room uninvited, you sleep on my bed, and you just casually take my things, and you're calling me the freak? Also, it does happen to a lot of people. It just depends on whether you want to look into it or not. It depends on whether people tell you things or not. I don't have enough friends in this game to know if it happens to other people that would be my friends. You're just being like, you're dismissing the problems of people like outside of me that have panic attacks too.
I'm your friend. I'm here to support you. Always.
See, this one's a real one.
Oh, how generous. He's offering to be your crutch because of how
Dude,
fragile.
I'll make you need a crutch. I will break your fucking legs. Your shins are going to be mine. Kalei kicks a stone lying in the path. It skips down the cement, landing in a nearby patch of flowers.
One of my relatives has a panic attack.
See, number
sometimes.
1!
She's brilliant. One of the smartest and kindest people I know. But she feels things a lot, you know? And it can be overwhelming.
Example number 1 presented. What do you have to say now, man? What do you have to say now?
So sometimes she just needs a few minutes to process her emotions, and I hold her hand and talk her through it. It's no big deal at all.
Yep, no biggie. No big deal. Collapsing in the middle of a crowd and troubling everyone was no big deal. I don't know what to think of that. Part of me is annoyed by Kalei's flippancy, the way he dismisses my suffering with a few easy words. Yet part of me is also strangely reassured by his nonchalance. It's not, I think, so much that he's dismissing your suffering. I feel like that maybe he's saying, oh, it's no big deal for him, right? To like help out. As I'm mulling over that statement, we reach my building. I fumble my ID card out of my pocket and swipe it through the reader. Thank you. I wave to Kalei and shut the door, his words ringing in my ears, and hopefully I lock the other man out. I groan into my pillow. I can't believe what I did last night in front of Calais of all people.
I bet he's gossiping to all of his
Why
friends.
are you here again?
Weirdest thing
Get
happened to me last
out!
night. A freak had a complete breakdown in the middle of the main
I'm
plaza.
sorry.
Crazy, right?
You're like talking, Geist, but I read plaza as pizza and I got low-key excited. But like knowing that you're not a man who can excite me in any way, whether platonic or not saying pizza was a huge disappointment. The blonde man dangles the phone in front of my
He
face.
texted you. Shouldn't you hurry and see what it's about?
Yeah. Well, you don't need to see it now, honestly. If you're having a moment, like, take your time. But like, yo, does he at least have pizza? I bat the phone away and turn around. I want to stop time. I want to curl up in the corner and hide forever so I never have to see Calais again. The phone buzzes once more. I think he's probably just checking up on you, but who knows? But real life didn't have a remote. I can't hit pause on it because I'm feeling overwhelmed. I roll back and reluctantly accept the phone from Geist. Hey, how you feeling? Okay? I was kind of worried, just, wanted to check how you were doing. Do you need anything? I squeeze my eyes shut, composing myself before I reply. I'm okay. I don't know what happened last night. This sort of thing doesn't usually happen to me. I'm sorry for bothering you. Nah, don't worry. I'm just glad you're good. I was wondering, are you busy? Tonight? Me and some friends are getting together to watch a movie. It's called The Social Experiment. Wanna come? We'll props talk about the story after. It's gonna be... You read me so well! I was just thinking about that. And fun. My lips curl into a smile after our first text exchange. The cat face has become something of an inside joke.
Yes, go on, accept. Now you can put on an encore.
Your sarcastic demeanor is
curl up
horrible.
on the floor in front of Calais and all of his friends and have a complete mental breakdown. Again.
Just remember, in these situations you can also say no, but if you're prepared, you can say yes, and also there's pizza. There's pizza. That won't happen. Last night was different. That never happens to me. There was just too many people. This is small and private. If anything happens, I can just say I need to go to the bathroom or something. Geist places a finger under my chin, tipping my face up so I can have a look at him. I don't want to look at you. Ew.
Do you really believe that?
Yeah. Like, he's not gonna fucking fuck me up if I say, oh, like, I need to go. Right? Because I am a separate entity from him, too. Like, I talk about how he's a separate entity from me, but I'm separate from him. Like, we're just watching a movie and getting pizza. And it's especially good if they pay for the pizza and I don't have to pay.
Sure, you're going to go out with a bunch of strangers and have a fantastic time. By the end of it all, you'll be best friends for life.
Maybe not. I just think you're jealous and you're trying to, isolate me from
What
others.
kind of fantasy land are you living in? Has that ever happened to you? Even once?
I made a friend, did I not? And you thought I couldn't do that? Geist's words radiate cold. They send chills running down my arms, making the hairs on my arms. They send chills running down my limbs, making the hairs on my arms stand on end.
If you say yes, it can only go poorly. You'll embarrass yourself. You won't even get along with his friends. What if they start mocking you because of how socially inept you are?
Look, I feel like you're painting... I understand that sometimes there's the thought of, oh, I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't like doing things that are out of my comfort zone. That's generally fine, right? But, guys, if you are an actual person saying this to me, you are an asshole. Because I don't know if you're a figment of my imagination or not, but you're already painting his friends as rude people. And if they're not, that's already just asshole-y to them.
Say no.
No, I'll say yes. Haha! I want the pizza. Because someone can't provide me pizza. It only takes a few seconds for the phone to ding with a familiar notification. You should get me into a group chat for doing this, though. Really? Yay! I'll come get you right now? Right now? When I exit the building, Calais is already there, his cheeks and ears tinged pink with the cold. He waves excitedly to me with both hands. He leads me through the darkened campus along the lamplit paths until we reach the student union. When he opens the door, I'm greeted by a trio of new faces. One girl and one guy are lounged on the couch in front of the TV. Another girl is unrolling paper towels and stacking them next to a couple of pizza boxes. Look who didn't have to pay for pizza. Me.
This is Mari, Naya, and Asher.
You're not gonna say everyone, this is Emma? You're not even gonna say everyone, this is my new friend? Kelly, are we not that close at all? Nice to meet you. Naya and Asher wave in acknowledgement. Mari hands me a plate and a paper towel. Fuck yeah, pizza time. Help yourself, this one's vegan. She opens the oily cardboard boxes, revealing 2 pizzas. One is covered in tomato sauce, vegan mozzarella, and basil. The other one is basil pesto, sausage, roasted peppers, and goat cheese. Once again, just a little bit too much detail, but this one isn't annoying. I'm a vegan, aren't I? Aren't I vegan? Vegetarian? Which one is the vegan one? Tomato sauce, vegan mozzarella, and okay, the non-basil pretzel one. I grab a slice of the tomato sauce pizza. The mozzarella is especially stringy, clinging to the cardboard as I try to extract the pizza from the box.
What drink you like? Beer or soda? Or just water?
Water is a bit tough with oily things. I am not used to alcohol, so I don't like the scent of beer, nor do I really like the scent of alcohol, so I'll take a soda. I accept a cola, it's ice cold. I wipe some of the condensation off before cracking it open. Kalei takes a slice of the pesto pizza and I sit on the floor and sits on the floor in front of the couch. I join him. Ooh, who turned off the lights? The room dims and the TV lights up. On the screen, a lanky young man with a mop of curly hair fields questions from a curious reporter. See, I noticed that I keep pointing this out, and I'm sorry that I keep pointing this out, but I feel like this could be shortened to, on the screen, a lanky young man fields questions with a curious reporter, because the mop of curly hair isn't necessarily pertinent. It's an interesting movie. The protagonist is a college student who joins his best friend's startup. They make a social network. Oh, it's the Facebook one, isn't it? The Facebook movie? They make a social network that quickly takes over the country. However, midway through the film, it's revealed that the best friend is actually an alien who uses the social network as a way to harvest information about humanity. So it's definitely the Facebook movie. As the film winds down, I finish the final bites of pizza. The protagonist just barely evades his best friend's ray gun and stabs him in the throat. No! Pesty! In the final few seconds, the protagonist staggers to the console, trying to prevent the information from being sent to the mothership, but he's too late. The film's final shot is of the console screen, eerily displaying "Transmission sent" in big pixelated green letters. Clay gets up and flips on the light. Mari turns off the TV. The hell was that? Blatant sequel bait. You know what? You're right. That does sound like sequel bait. I thought it was pretty good. Really ominous.
It's a fitting metaphor for online privacy, isn't it? They couldn't stop the aliens because it can't be stopped. Once you use the internet, no matter how hard you try, your information is going to be collected and used against you.
Or it can be collected and used against you. You never know. Maybe you'll be somehow safe. The 5 of us sit down. The 5 of us clean up, tossing the pizza boxes and cleaning the dishes. When we're done, we sit on the floor in a circle, chatting about the movie. Although, to be fair, Kelly does most of the talking. That's why his friends tell him to shut up. But I mean, it's probably a joke between them. What movies do you like, Emma? This question.
Better not tell them what you really like. After all, if you tell them that your favorite series is an animated whodunit franchise for kids starring a detective dog, they'll think that you're weird and utterly childish.
I'd like to rebuke this a little bit. Number 1, they asked what kind of movies I like. So to be fair, I could literally just say, oh, I like, right? I think, let's double check. What movies do you like, right? I could be like, oh, I like animated films, or I like, they didn't ask what type, but you can generally answer like this. I like animated films if you don't want to reveal it, or I like mystery films, or, you know, say you like Detective Dog. They already know that this clown over here, sorry, Clay. This dude over here likes Detective Dog. I call him a clown because he gives off clown energy. He gives off class clown energy. I brush aside Geist's provocations. I'm already prepared. I watch most things, but I'm watching a lot of sci-fi lately. My favorite is the Eradicator series. Oh, the one about the shape-shifting aliens that take over humanity, right? Yeah, and then the main guy travels back in time to prevent humanity from making contact so they don't get taken over.
He's not the protagonist. The protagonist is a woman he's helping.
Bro's gonna start some beef. He's the guy on the cover though? Oh shit, he's about to start some beef!
The guy on the cover is the villain. The villain!
You can tell the dude on this, because I do the same thing, right? He leaned away from his mic when he yelled that. I really liked it, especially the scene where the guy jumps into the vat of acid to save everyone else.
That's the sequel.
He's so mad. Why do you always get so hung up on the details, Calais? Let up a little.
Eradicator 2 is the best one.
So you like the sequel, right? Eradicator Reborn is the best one. The villain wields this pair of nunchucks that turns into machine guns. I like Eradicator 4, the one starring Holly Day. That reminds me of the other movie that we watched with Holly Day, the one where she had 6 months left to live, so she decides to go find her first love. That one was so good! I was crying at the end when she found her boyfriend's last love letter to her. Did her boyfriend die, or did her boyfriend leave her? I think it was kind of boring. Just say you want killer robots to appear in the last 20 minutes of the movie, Asher. Yeah, Asher, say it.
60 years, 6 months was one of Holly's best performances. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that the director made the film with her in mind. It was a crime that she didn't win the Golden Galaxy Award that year.
Bro's mad. As the conversation meanders away from the topic that I had started with, I fall silent. While Mari and Asher bicker over the sentimentality of the climax of 60 years and 6 months, Calais leans over and asks if I ever watched it, but all I can do is shake my head. Sometimes the conversation veers to movies that I have watched, and I scramble to think of something to say, something interesting that isn't too weird or offensive, but by the time I plan my words, the others are already talking about something completely different. Boy, do I have a solution for you! It's called... So yeah, remember that topic we talked about earlier? I just remembered right now. And then I start talking about it regardless of what they're talking about. But yeah, there are people that do take a little bit longer to plan their thoughts. As you guys, I've mentioned earlier, I just rattle off what's in my brain.
Tick tock, tick tock. It's been so long since you last talked. It's just like class, isn't it? You're going to get a participation score of 0, you know.
You do notice that your friendship and human interactions you may say it's being judged, but it's not graded. Also, there's one benefit of being in a group of 3 or 3 or more actually, where you're not a speaker. And that is, I can listen to these people speak, and if I ever feel like I can't interject in the moment, I can just interject. I open my mouth trying to say something, but I soon close it again. Also, this makes sense. She's not super familiar with these people. They might have already watched these movies together. So, if anything, Emma, the main character in this game, could just, it's not that easy to say just, but she could become friends with them. And eventually she'll be able to talk to them more about these topics because she's, experienced the experiences that they've experienced.
Given up already? Oh, you've truly got an iron will. Why don't you go join the other furniture?
Also, I think he really is fake because I don't think he should be here if he wasn't invited. Because this feels like a closed gathering, and I don't understand why he's here. I place my hands in my lap, focusing on wiping the residual oil from my pizza. At this point, if I did say anything, I'd just earn stares of befuddlement. Who is this stranger interrupting our conversation? Better not to say anything. Here's where I, veer off a little. You were introduced by Calais. You're no longer a stranger, more of an acquaintance who could be friends, given that you all have something in common, you've all watched movies, everyone just has different tastes, everyone has different experiences. So honestly, you could also just interject if you, find yourself able to talk about the movies that you like, the movies that you've watched, and you've already done this, but you could be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Or you could eat pizza. If your mouth ain't doing anything, you could eat with it. I'll just stay quiet and wait for this get-together to end. As Naya and Mari discuss the relationship dynamics in a gothic romance film, the conversation slows down. Calais is listening intently to the argument, but Asher looks bored. He takes a swig from his beer before looking at me. Asher raises an eyebrow. Hey Emma, why are you so quiet? Oh no, the forbidden question. He's asked the forbidden question. And that's when you hold the pizza up to your mouth and you go, I'm eating, bro. I can't remember how many times I've been asked this question. What am I supposed to say? What do you say to that? That's true. Like, I've never been asked this question, but I know that this is generally a thought or like a question that people do ask. And I'd honestly just say, I don't have anything to say, man. Sorry, I'm quiet because I'm shy. I just don't like talking too much. I'm a bit tired. I'm not feeling it today. I don't know you guys that well, so it's hard for me to barge into this conversation. I'm, actually kind of messed up in the head, and if I talk, you'll find out, so I'm not saying anything. There's a million answers and a million excuses, but I can never say anything. All I can do is offer a nervous laugh and say, yep, I'm quiet. Naya and Murray slowly stop chatting and look at the two of us. Clay is already staring. I shrink under their gazes. I would like to say, though, I don't think Asher is doing this to be malicious. I hope. Calais, I hope you choose your friends well. I don't think Asher is doing this to be malicious, but it is a stress-inducing situation, definitely. Geist leans close, his cold breath tickling my ear. For some reason, he's still here. No one has kicked him out. No one ever notices him.
Oh no, it seems like they found out. How long did you think that you could hide it? Your real self. You pretended to be interesting.
What?
You pretended to be a person.
What do you mean you pretended to be interesting?
But you didn't even make it 5 minutes before showing
Yo!
them how boring you
Yo!
are.
This girl watches so many movies. What do you mean pretended to be interesting? That was... Look, she might have been veiling her detective dog thing. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't, true about her to have that interest in the sci-fi movies at the time. You know?
What will they think of Calais now? He stuck his neck out for you, introducing you to all of his friends. Now what will they think? They might start to think that he's a miserable failure too, because he likes someone like you.
You're really rude, you know that? Sorry. I'm sorry for being so boring. I'm sorry for being such a killjoy. I'm sorry for ruining the mood.
You've already ruined everything. You think that begging for forgiveness will help. You're just making things worse.
I was gonna say funny anecdote, but we'll just let this pass first. Because it doesn't feel right at the moment. Why are you... Clay squeezes his beer can. The crinkling noise is loud in the relative silence.
Maybe it's because they think hard about what they're going to say instead of saying any old thing.
Thanks for calling me they. Thanks for calling me not my name, but I know that you're voice acting this in one take. Not one take, sorry. One line. He prods Asher with his knee.
Why are you so loud all the time, bruh? Maybe you should learn to be a better listener.
Yeah, Asher, shut the fuck up, Asher. Oh, they're about to fight. Asher's brows furrow, his nostrils flare. I know that Calais is trying to diffuse the situation, take the heat off of me. Not quite sure that's how one would normally do it, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Now look at what you've done. You're ruining his friendships. Calais is standing up for you. He's getting into a fight with his friend for you.
Yo, friends fight sometimes. Also, Asher was a little bit rude at this time, so honestly. I wrap my arms around myself, my knuckles whitening. I stare at the drink on the table, watching the condensation pool at the bottom. The same 5 words run around my head on repeat, screaming and screaming and screaming. I should not have come, I should not have come, I should not have come, but the free pizza was so alluring. I wish I wasn't here, I wish I was anywhere but here. Asher rolls his eyes before shoving Calais in the shoulder. You're one to talk, you're the loudest of all of us. Calais rolls his eyes in turn, ignoring his friend's provocation.
Anyway, speaking of gothic romances, what did you think about Scarlet Tears? You mentioned that was one of your favorites from last year. We watched that a couple weeks ago.
He's bringing me into the conversation. which is nice. Are they gonna fight though? Kelly smoothly transitions the conversation to a film I've watched. I managed to get in a few sentences, although it doesn't take too long for the conversation to veer in a direction that I can't keep up with. However, whenever he notices, Kelly brings me back into the fold with an easy question. Asher remains relatively quiet. His arms are crossed and his eyes are narrowed into a pointed glare aimed straight to Kelly. The other boy doesn't stop sulking until we split up for the evening when everyone returns to their respective dorm rooms. I understand Asher's point of view though, because I feel like he probably thought he was asking an innocuous question, and then unprovoked, Kalei kind of insults him. But I also understand that Kalei was trying to help me, so I'm the only one who lives in a separate building. Kalei offers to walk me back. When we're outside, I cross my arms, shielding my body from the chill. You need to start wearing a jacket, girly. I feel strangely nauseous and oddly vulnerable in a way I can't explain. As if someone cut a hole in my chest and left it open so that everyone could peer inside. Kalei scratches his nose. He looks around awkwardly before turning to me.
I'm sorry.
For what?
They, said some pretty insensitive stuff to you. They're not usually like that.
Who's they? Is Asher a they? Or are they saying, like, they as in everyone else? Because I don't remember Mari or the other person who I don't remember the name of being rude to me.
They were only like that because you were there. You made everything awkward.
Look, you're... To be fair, he's not wrong, but it's not... You know, first meetings with people are awkward.
I'll make sure they're on their best behavior next time. Don't worry.
Is it necessary, though?
There won't be a next time.
Not because we're never going to meet, but is it necessary
badly
to make them on their best behavior? Because I'd rather they just be quote-unquote normal people.
I'm really glad that you came.
Thanks, man.
He's lying. They always lie. He's just trying to...
Yo, this man's actually starting to sound like he's projecting.
We all like movies, but sometimes it feels like I'm the only one who takes them seriously, you know? They're always joking around about how bad the dialogue is or how hot the actors are.
Yeah, but I'm a real one and I look at the details, bro. I went, what the fuck, action scene fun?
Whenever I want to talk about the story or the characters, they brush me off. Even when they don't, you can tell they don't want to talk, you know? That's interesting, or, wow, you thought about it a lot.
I don't think that signifies that they're bad people, though. Why am I trying to therapist this thing? I'm just chilling, bro. It's like 1:30 at night. But I don't think it's, you know, different people have different interests.
Sometimes,
in general.
I feel like a weirdo. Like I don't belong.
That happens.
So it was really nice having you there. It seems like we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, man. I'll analyze movies with you. He might be lying, placating me with soothing words, but he seems sincere. I feel the same way. I really like talking to you, too. I mumble the words, barely able to get them out. Inwardly, I curse. I sound so awkward. What if Kelly thinks that I'm lying or being insincere?
Feels like you listen to me. You really listen. I wanted to thank you for that.
No problem, man. Guilt bubbles in my stomach. I want to protest. That's wrong. I'm not listening. Not really. I'm just so wrapped up in my own thoughts all the time that I don't speak. Well, you do listen to him enough, though. And you do have similar interests. In reality, I'm a selfish jerk who always obsesses over myself. I can't listen to you because my thoughts are constantly screaming in my head. As long as Kalei feels good, I guess. But when I look at Kalei, his sunny smile erodes my doubts. Also, once that, like, screaming in your head goes down, and you start listening, I think that'd be nice. You know, once you guys get more and more comfortable with each other. He's genuinely grateful towards me. Even if it was accidental, I did something for him that he appreciates. I made him feel heard. I guess I did a good thing. I look around. Geist is gone. Good. Good. As he should be. What is this? We arrive at my dorm building. What is this at the bottom? Lights? Thanks for inviting me. I had fun. When I return to my room, the guilt in my stomach has morphed into something else. A strange mixture of emotions, one that I can't easily define. Guilt, nervousness, humiliation, gratitude, and something almost like pride. I was originally planning for this to be like a 1-hour episode, a 1-hour recording at least. But it's definitely been past an hour, but I'm kind of committed to this now. Around a month has passed since Calais invited me to meet his friends. I lounge on my bed, scrolling through my feed. Is it Calais? I scan my notifications. It's not. Instead, I got an email. I run down to the mailroom when I talk to the student that mans the desk. My excitement's so high that I can get the words out without stumbling over them. Minutes later, I'm clutching the package to my chest like it's my most precious. It's the dog! It's the detective dog! In my room, I carefully open the box. A DVD case covered in slightly worn plastic is lying amid the crumpled up newspaper. Young Detective Dog, the adventure begins. I can't suppress the grin spreading on my face. I've been waiting to see this film for so long. I open up my desk to search for my DVD player, but then I pause. I wonder if Calais would want to watch this. Yo, we streaming? We streaming it to him? When we were talking about the franchise before, he mentioned he hasn't watched this one. I'm not surprised. It's not available online, and the physical copies are hard to come by. Should I invite him over? Yeah. I've never invited anyone before. In fact, I've never invited anyone to hang out, period. When I did spend time with friends, they're always the ones to reach out to me. Now it's my turn. Some small, deep part of my heart always believed that if I asked someone out, they would feel burdened, that spending time with me is a chore, that they had better things to do than to be with me. But, you know, those people also have the ability to reject. But this is different, alright? Calais would want to see this movie too, and maybe, just maybe, he would have fun with me? I take out my phone, my fingers hovering over the try message icon.
Stop.
Where are you coming from? You jump scared me for like a millisecond. But why'd you turn my room green? Geist is sitting on the bed, leaning over me. He reaches over and tries to take my phone out of my grasp. But this time I don't let go. I wrest my hands from his grip and then punch him in the face!
What do you think is happening with that guy?
We're becoming better friends than you and I could ever be.
What? Is he your bestie? Your dear friend? Maybe he even likes you.
That scoff was so rude. You know, look. I can be besties with whoever I want. I don't want to listen to this. I push Geist off of me. I get up and grab my headphones from my desk, but his voice slips past the headphones, snaking into my eardrum. He's definitely an apparition.
Get your head out of the clouds. He tolerates you because he wants someone to go to tutoring with. If he had anyone else, he wouldn't even look at you.
Rude. We're friends now, okay? He appreciates me. I turn away and crouch down, pressing the headphones so close, so hard over my ears that it feels like I'm crushing my skull.
He doesn't like you. He never liked you. No one likes you.
Why are you following me then? Are you following me to torment me? This isn't like a yandere thing where you actually like me? Even though you keep holding my hand? Are you just a fucking harasser? Should I report you to the police now? Geist embraces me from behind, squeezing me tightly. He rests his chin on my shoulder. I'd say that's cute if you weren't such a fucking asshole.
I love you. I only have your best interests at heart.
A little contradictory, don't you think, when you just said no one likes you?
The world is dangerous. I'm trying to protect you.
It's not so much so that I need to be protected by you. Especially you. You are a danger in this world.
You can't trust anyone. They all hate you. They all wish that you would just disappear from the face of the earth.
This is the gaslighting that the game warned me about, and I'm just gonna say, very red flag toxic manipulative boyfriend. These are the traits to avoid. His voice is scalding and freezing at the same time. Honey that drips into my ears, burning my eardrums like acid.
If you trust them, if you let them in, they'll all hurt you eventually.
I like the little motions they do, and I don't know if it's like a live 2D thing or a GIF. No, I'm not gonna call it a GIF. A GIF. GIF is a peanut butter. But like, honestly, honestly, I want to just say the art is kind of nice when it does this like live 2D little flowing thing. He takes the phone out of my grasp, my grip too limp to hang on any longer.
That's okay.
Don't
I'm
blush at
here
me.
for you.
Oh.
You only need me.
You stereotypical blonde. Actually, no. Typically, they're blonde hair, blue eyes. But you stereotypical blonde hair, green eyes, asshole. I only like the ones that at least love me for who I am, and you love me for my image. No, actually, you just want to isolate me and you want control over me, and I don't appreciate that. So, shut the fuck up. I've been wanting to push you away for so long, bro. Geist's touch fills me with revulsion, resentment, and anger. It has been the whole game, man. I shove him away. He stumbles backwards, hitting his head against my desk. He rubs the back of his head, glaring at me. Good! Everyone hates you? It seems like the only one who hates me is you, Geist. Geist's eyes widen. His eyes are brimming with some emotion that I can't quite describe. It almost looks like a betrayal. You can pull the tsundere I didn't mean to hurt you card on me? But that's not gonna avert the actions that you did.
I don't hate you. I love you. I care about you more than anyone else. You're my entire world. I exist for you.
Yeah, and that's why you're a part of my mind and you're not actually a real person, is what I'm thinking, is what I'm concocting in my head. Also, I think if anything, what you have is more of a obsession. Ha! You love me? When you spend all day telling me how worthless, disgusting, and unlovable I am, when you do nothing but beat me down, grinding me into the dust so you can pick up the pieces? I don't know what that is, but it's definitely not love. It's fucking obsession. The floodgates are open now. I blink quickly, trying not to let the tears flow out of my eyes as the words flow out of my mouth. Why? What's your game? You want me to feel small and laughable and hopeless so that I never feel confident enough to leave you? So that I'll always need you? Geist opens his mouth before closing it again. He tries to speak a couple more times before he finally finds the words.
I'm just being honest with you. I don't want you to get hurt. Not when you're this fragile. Not when the slightest push will break you into 1,000 pieces.
Who's the one defining me as fragile? I don't need you. I can make my own decisions. I'm not that fragile. I'm a human being, you know? We learn, we grow. Sometimes things happen and, you know, eventually we figure out how to handle it. You're the one that's hurting me.
I just wanted to help.
Voice acting here is actually kind of nice. You're not helping. You've never helped. The tears are gushing out now, warm droplets caressing my cheek. I'm sorry. Now there's another thing that I will point out here too. And I don't know if it's because you didn't know, like I'm talking to the dev, like they'll see this, but I'm pretty sure they won't. When you're saying that tears are gushing out, no, that's fine. Warm droplets caressing my cheek is a very, affectionate, wording, which kind of messes with the tone of what's going on right now. So it you know, dims down, I guess you could say, the impact of the scene where you're just so angry. If they're angry tears, I don't think they would be considered caressing your cheeks. Moving on. All you do is make me so stressed that I'm terrified to do anything, boxing me into a prison of my own thoughts that I can't even step out of. Trying to alienate me from the people around me. You liar!
I'm not a liar.
You are. But you are. Kelly hates me when every single thing that he has done has communicated the opposite. He says that he likes to talk to me. He invites me to hang out. He wants me to meet his friends. And yet, every single time, you tell me that he's pretending, that he actually hated me all along. What kind of crazy hoops do you have to jump through to believe that he hates me after all that? What are you? Some kind of mind reader? To tell me that what he's really feeling?
No. But I just know. Besides, even if he doesn't hate you now, he'll hate you eventually. It's just a matter of time.
It's a weird feeling, and I'm not sure if this is even real to the story, because I still think he's an apparition in my mind, given how close he is when I feel like he shouldn't be and others would notice it. It feels like if we're talking about him as not an apparition, it feels like rather than him trying to gaslight you back, and this might just be him gaslighting, not gonna lie, it feels like he's experienced it himself. And I'm not gonna feel sympathetic for him. He's a fucking asshole. But like, that's what it feels like. And if something happens later and he tells me he hates me, so what? I'll move on. I'll live. It won't be the end of the world. I'll make new friends. I'll form new relationships. But if I'm already too scared, if I never reach out, then I'll never form the bonds with anyone. I'll just continue to float listlessly through life, blindly following whatever you decide to take me. I might get hurt, and that's okay. It happens. I don't want to spend my life avoiding the things I'm afraid of. I want to spend it doing the things that I actually want to do. And we're no longer green. And we know that green is Kaleigh's color.
What do you want to do?
I want to major in computer science. I don't need to think about my answer. I want to be Kaleigh's... I thought we were friends already. But I want to be Kaleigh's friend. Geist looks down on the phone, guilt marring his features. He lifts his eyes to meet mine. I stare back unwaveringly. He extends his phone to me.
All right. Good luck.
I don't need your luck. I hesitate, thinking that this might be a trick before accepting the message, or the device. It still displays Kaleigh's conversation on try message. I bite my lip and send my message quickly, trying not to overthink it. Are you interested in watching a movie with me? Vampire's kind of wild. The font has some darkened letters. I just noticed this. I just got my hand on Young Detective Dog and I thought you might want to see it. My phone buzzes immediately. Yes, I really want to see it. Right now? Right now? I wipe the tears from my eyes. I'm really in no state to see him right now. I pause before sending the next message. I've got a few things to do right now, but maybe in a couple hours. I'll be there, can't wait. I look up. Geist is gone. So, I really still do think he was an apparition. Hey! He sounds a little different than normal. Almost overly enthusiastic. He brandishes a plastic bag filled to the brim with different snacks. Whoa, you just had these lying around?
Oh no, I ran to the store really quick. I didn't know what you liked, so I got a bunch of stuff.
Yo, snack taste testing time? He rummages through the bag.
Oops, I forgot drinks.
I laugh. We're in my room. Why are you the one trying to provide everything? He smiles awkwardly.
You're right. That's kind of weird, isn't it? I guess I got a little excited and didn't think too much.
Oh, we're in the room. We laugh together before settling on the rug. I prop my laptop on my desk chair. I plug in my DVD player before carefully inserting the Detective Dog disc. The movie starts with a close-up of a dingy city street. Several pairs of feet pass by, splashing through the muddy puddles strewn over the cement. Kaleigh opens a carton of cookies. He holds the box open for me. I take one, savoring the cream-filled sandwich between two chocolate biscuits. He also opens a bag of spicy chips and sets it on the ground between us. The camera zooms in and focuses on an alleyway in the background. A dirty cardboard box comes into view. A small puppy, his fur matted with dirt and blood, lies in the box. I'm Dog. In the future, I'll be Detective Dog. But not now. Now, I'm just a poor orphan dog. We quickly become enthralled by the film. The animation is definitely dated, but the voice acting performances and the writing are mesmerizing. The plot is much darker than other entries in the Detective Dog series, following Dog as he's falsely accused of stealing a rich cat's pearls. On screen, when we watch Detective Dog's interrogation, Dog stays quiet as the policeman tries to emotionally manipulate him, promising a warm bed and food if Dog fesses up. I fumble a chip out of the bag, enjoying the spicy sweetness. I reach towards the bag again when Kaleigh's finger goes over the back of my hand. I freeze.
Sorry.
No biggie. I don't know if we're actually romantic. You can have as much romance as you want, girlie. But I don't know if I am convinced enough to have a solid romantic relationship with him, but we are solid friends at least. Also, back when the dialogue is in, that one I think was fine. When they started describing the Detective Dog in the scenario, because it's like a moment where everything is coming to fruition, where detail is generally fine. Also, if my voice went weird there, it's because I was looking at the ceiling. Because I was thinking. Just like me, the MC, sometimes I gotta think before I talk. He jerks his hand back, awkwardly readjusting his hat. What hat? What hat? His ears are red.
I'm a little nervous.
Why? It's okay. I'm nervous too, man. Calais hides his face in his hands before smiling sheepishly, straightening his collar.
It actually makes me happy to hear you say that. I thought I was the only one feeling this way. I guess that we can be nervous together.
Nervous buddies! I can't stop a smile from creeping onto my own face. We can be nervous together. I like that. After our introductory computer science class ended and a new semester started, Calais and I remained close friends. We often eat lunch together and we watch movies on the weekends. Nowadays, I invite him to hang out as often as he invites me. Our unspoken rule is that whoever does the inviting gets to choose the movie. I've gotten to know Calais' friends better too. Mari's a sweet girl who's always caring for others like a mother hen. Naya is level-headed and unflappable with a penchant for sarcasm. Even Asher isn't a bad guy once you get to know him. He has a tendency to blurt out whatever is on his mind, and he's a little immature, but he's genuinely caring and has his moments. I find myself striking up conversation with other classmates too. We don't, become fast friends, but we exchange a few friendly words. Sometimes the interactions are as smooth as butter, and sometimes they're as rough as sliding across sandpaper. But that's okay. I feel myself changing, little by little. That man didn't vanish completely. Ooh, this is such a pretty scenery. But whenever he tries to drown my ears in nervous prophecies, I don't respond. It's difficult to ignore him, but he's quieter now. Less insistent. He's definitely a fake. He's definitely an apparition. 100%. His rhetoric has changed a little too. He no longer speaks exclusively in apocalyptic foretellings. Sometimes he watches me open a 4th cup of instant ramen of the week and says, "That much sodium can't be good for you. Why not cook something?" When I'm on the couch scrolling mindlessly through social media, he sits next to me and leans to my ear and whispers, "Going for a walk would be better for you than lazing around at home, wouldn't it?" As I sit down on my desk, browsing through online shopping portals, he settles up from behind me and shuts my laptop, saying, You don't have room for frivolous purchases in the budget right now." His tongue hasn't lost its edge, but those lectures only bring me mild annoyance, not fear. Sometimes I actually take his advice, and sometimes I tell him, no. Sometimes I just want to get a cheat day for myself, Also, I don't like how he's still in my life. I understand, and I've established this, that I'm pretty sure he's part of my imagination or part of my subconscious. I don't like how he's been so creepy and he's still in my life, especially when they paint him like a romantic partner. I don't like it. On the occasion, he falls back into old habits, reciting old lines. "They don't like me. Everyone hates you. You do nothing but ruin everything." But he says them less and less with each passing day. There is a man that follows me. He's always watching, and sometimes he whispers in my ear. I wonder if he'll ever go away. Probably won't. And that's alright. Chattercat? What is Chatter? Oh, that's the name of the developer, I just remembered. Thank you for playing the game, and thank you for everyone who supported development. I make romance games with Dark Twist 2. If you're interested, check out the link here. For anyone who has mental health struggles, know that you're not alone. I hope that you all have more days where Geist is a little quieter than a girl. Sorry, you might not be a girl. Person, I know that people would like a Geist. I saw people in the comments section for the game being like, "Yo, Geist kinda hot, I personally just think he's an asshole, but the message is fine. The message is generally, sometimes, things will get better. Things will get better. And I know it's a little bit optimistic, and I know that every situation is different, but it's nice to think that, things will get better. But I'm not honestly qualified enough to speak about this, so I'll just end it with, that was Mind My Mind. And I'll see you all next time. Bye bye. Take care of yourselves.